It's Will's turn. He's going to do rest of the stuff for 1,000. We're supposed to plot -5 minus 3i and figure out what quadrant it would be located in, and then also determine the absolute value of it. William decides that he's going to take a little break from math from right now, so here he is sleeping in his bed, and Bug's on the ball. So if we plot -5 minus 3i, I start at the origin, I go left 5, down 3. So just like before, left, right, up, down. Upper right is quadrant 1. Here's quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So our answer is lying in quadrant 3. Next, we're supposed to determine the absolute value of -5 minus 3i. Recall that absolute value for a complex number is the distance from 0. So we're trying to find the length of this diagonal line that's running between the green dot and 0. I can do that by making a triangle. Here comes the sides here, and there's that. So the length of the one on top is 5. The length of the one on the left is 3. I'm going to plug those into a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Good old Pythagorean theorem. We're plugging these numbers in. I get 25 and 9. Add those together and I get 34. I then need to take the square root. So my point is located in quadrant 3, and the answer is 5.83. Bug gets the points, and now everybody is at 2,000, so we have a three-way tie going on. It's Bug's turn, and she's going to pick complex calculations for 1,000. We're supposed to simplify this expression. 4i minus 3 squared plus 3 minus 8i times 3 plus 8i minus 2i plus 5. Here is all of the work for the problem. I wrote out the left part twice, started foiling over here in the middle. 3 times 3 is 9. We have a plus 24i, a minus 24i, minus 64i squared. Here I distributed the negative to the 2i and the 5, making them both negative. The next row of work, I went ahead and foiled 4i minus 3 times 4i minus 3. That gives you 16i squared minus 12i plus 9. 9 from the -3 times -3. Then there's a second 9 from our other group from before. My 24i's canceled out. Remember that I squared is -1, so -1 times -64 is a plus 64, and then all of this. Again, we're combining more terms here, and finally we end up with 61 minus 26i. Bug got this correct, so she gets the $1,000, and she's at 3,000. Next, she's going to pick complex calculations for 2,000. So here we are. We have to divide 3 plus 4i by -2 minus 5i. Bug gets distracted, and by the way, she does this all the time to me, where she states that she needs more food, and if you notice, her food bowl is very full, but she will always look at me like she needs more food. And so because she's bothered by the quantity or lack of quantity in her eyes of food in the food bowl, Holzhauer gets it, and he states, everyone knows you're supposed to use the conjugate. So you got to recall what a conjugate is. That is where we switch the sign of the middle sign. So we're going to take it -2 plus 5i over -2 plus 5i. We FOIL across the top, FOIL across the bottom. Here it is foiled across the top, -6 plus 15i minus 8i plus 20i squared, all over 4 minus 10i plus 10i minus 25i squared. Recall I squared is -1, so this is really a -20 on top and a plus 25 on the bottom. So here we are again, simplifying further, -26 plus 7i all over 29. Recall that they like it to be written like this, where you have a real part and then an imaginary part. So -26 over 29 plus 7i over 29. James is correct, so he gets another 2,000, and this is where we are at right now for scores.